that don't know this and somehow live under a rock, skins are coming out in Danny's World. This is something that I've been vouching for, the rest of the community's been vouching for literal months. The good news is we have some confirmed skins that are going to be coming into the game. How do we know this? Because you see this fellow right here, his name's Quell, let me subscribe to him, is the creator of Dandy's World. And sometimes Quell likes to do these live streams where he makes art. And inside of these art videos, he actually just live streams him making skins that are eventually going to be added into the game. As far as development goes and writing, Quell is literally fantastic. This guy has my full utmost respect in regards to music, art, creation, everything. He's wonderful. Subscribe to Quell, and also, if you haven't already subscribed around here, do consider doing that. We're trying to get to 20k subscribers by the end of the month, and maybe you just should if you like skeletons and Fall and Jack Skellington. Come on, please. Either way, we're gonna be looking at his skins that he's gonna be adding into the game later on. But first, I want to look at your guys' skins as well as your OCs that you have coming into the game. Because for those of you that don't know, there's a bootleg Dandy's World game where your OCs can already get added into. So literally, it's a best of both worlds. So without further ado, let's go ahead and investigate some of these skins. And as you can see, there is so many OCs in this game. Honestly, player community and involvement, this is one of the deepest that I've ever seen ever. Honestly, half the time you join a Dandy's World lobby, half the people, maybe even more than half, aren't even playing the game. They're just hanging out and talking in the lobby, which is kind of an interesting thing. Either way, let's investigate some of these OCs. Which one is calling my fancy? Artisan is calling my fancy. This creation is by Silly Laveau. Sorry, I butchered that hard. Either way, we have Artisan, who is going to be a regular toon. They're going to have a skill check of 4, a movement speed of 5, a stamina bar of 1, a stealth of 2, and an extraction speed of 3. So definitely more on the survivor side of things. Kind of an all-rounder. Not really an extractor, but also not really a distractor. And at first I thought that they were a fencer that had a sword coming out of their head, but I realize now that that design is actually just a paintbrush. And this is the Brussels on the end, which is really cool, which makes sense and compliant to its in-game description. As its in-game description says this toon can turn anything bland into something colorful and cheery. Artisan is always creating new and creative art to inspire kids to be expressive with their art, which is a super fun and cool concept for a toon. As far as things go with that is all we know for Artisan. All we have is stats, no abilities, no requirements, no trinkets, not even a twisted. Unfortunate. But with what we have, it's still a B. Up next, we have Pipper. And Pipper looks sick. It reminds me a little bit of Pluto. This is also by Silly Laveau. Pipper is one fun alien from outer space. They do look like they come from outer space considering they look a little bit like Saturn. He's always understanding of everyone's boundaries and personal spaces. Sometimes he's a bit clumsy though. Pipper tutors kids about personal bubbles and privacy. It sounds like Pipper and Shrimpo would get along just fine. Either way, they have 3 hearts, so a regular toon, a skill check of 3, a movement speed of 2, stamina of 4, stealth of 2, and extraction speed of 4. So they are definitely giving more extractor vibes for sure. And we have one ability, because it is a normal toon, and their ability is called Saturnalia, which makes sense because it looks like Saturn. When used, can give 1 item from the uncommon tier, rare tier, or the very rare tier. However, it decreases stealth by 2.5 units, has a cooldown of 80 seconds. Considering itself's already super bad, this isn't that big of a deal. Already in comparison to Shrimpo, isn't really even that bad. That is cool though. I do like toons that give the ability to spawn items in. It gives you a little bit of leverage while you're playing, especially if you desperately need a med kit or something and you spawn one. Ooh, it would be very cool if they can spawn this item in the ground or in the elevator. So if, let's say you have a Pebble on your team, you can like get a chance of spawning in a bandage or a med kit on the ground that they could pick up. That'd be so good. This toon is going to cost 1500 Iker, which is actually pretty cheap. Past that, we don't have a twisted and we also don't have a trinket, but this character does seem very cool all around. I'm going to give this toon an A. She got Laffy Taffy, go. Bring it back to stop. Either way, we got Taffy, our next toon coming up on the list. And Taffy, if you couldn't tell, is definitely a crayon, which perfectly melts into the Dandy's World lobby. If anything, this looks like Cosmo's long-lost cousin. Taffy appears as a yellow crayon with an orange wrapping. She has a bow on top of her head with the middle being light red and the sides being a more saturated red. She wears a red collared shirt which matches her bow as well as dark indigo skirt. Another main toon that definitely looks more like a survivalist with an extraction speed of 2, stealth of 4, stamina of 3, movement speed of 2, and skill check of 4. Either way, this is definitely just a skin. It's not really an OC because there's no abilities. There's not a twisted, There's not a trinket. This is pretty much all we get. Still overall, very good. I also give this a B. Regardless, before we move on to the skins that Quell made, let's check out some of the fully flushed out OCs, shall we? For example, Founty the Fountain Pen. This guy looks cool. He reminds me from Toontown. Like, he looks like he's straight out of Toontown. Wait, she or he? They're wearing high heels? And hey, you know what? If it's a dude wearing high heels, respect to you, my friend. I could not pull it off. This tune is quite peculiar. He. Okay, respect to the grind. He has always scared children off thanks to his eye. Yikes. That's not great, you know? Oh, hey, this person's always scared off children. A little bit rough. Only a few like him. But those who can't stand his handwriting, but those who do can't understand his handwriting. Gotcha. He loves to keep anyone company when they're feeling numb. When they're feeling numb. That is an interesting way to describe someone. Hey, Hopeless, you look a little bit down today. How do you feel? I'm feeling a little bit numb. I don't know. This seems a little extreme. Founty is an antique fountain pen in Danny's world. He spends most of his time writing music for either himself or a few others to hear. What instrument does he play? This tune is quite peculiar though. He's fueled by Iker. Ouch. Hence the infected eye. Not that Iker is bad for him. He quite enjoys it. He just can't control its side effects. Yikes, dude. One of them are him not having the ability to talk anymore. Thanks to a clog of Iker blocking his vocal cords, it has also affected his speed a lot more than he hoped for. So my boy can't talk, which makes sense why he writes so much, but people can't understand his handwriting? This guy has a sadder origin story than Killua or something, dude. That's so sad. However, he's made for his inability to speak. He's found a special notepad to write on. It would be nice if anyone understood his highly cursive handwriting. He uses his leather coat as a cape to hold onto his pen cap, which he uses to sleep with no distractions. This guy is very, very flushed out. Very, very cool. But obviously he has a twisted eye thanks to his Iker consumption, so he has to wear a monocle over it to keep his sanity when spotting a toon. Man, so this guy's fighting demons even when he's a toon. Have you guys ever thought about how Iker is actually just like a drug? It's just a drug inside of Danny's world. Like, could you imagine, like Poppy just sitting there scratching her forearm being like, ugh, I need Iker. I need that Iker. It's a little bit, it's not a good thought. It's not a good thought. Hello, it's me, Hopeless. I'm the Iker dealer. Everyone gather around. Oh, 10 pesos, 20 yen, 30 American dollars. Ooh, €5 for my special Iker. Here, I'll give you a special deal. Buy 5, get 0 free for the small price of $500 million. I'm sorry, I don't know why I did that. He wears a particularly large belt to add more character to his clothing. Dude, this guy really gives a lot of thought into his tune. Either way, let's check out his skill/ability. Threatening music. Bro, this guy has aura! There are 2 selections of music he writes. Harmonious or tormenting music. When displaying the harmonious music, he gives a buff to all his allies that lasts for 10 seconds. When displaying tormenting music, he gives a single buff to the twisted of the floor. Whoa. It lasts for the entirety of the floor, but neither the buffs or debuffs can be stacked. You can only use this ability 3 times per floor. When displaying a tormenting music, there's a chance he injures an ally? Whoa. 45-second cooldown. Dude, that's so cool. Like, you're just playing and you randomly just hear or something like that. Whack. But his tormenting music gives a 40% lower attention span and a 40% less speed. Whoa. But what's the buff? Like, what is the buff he gives tunes? Either way, really good debuff. And you only have a 1 in 880,000 chance of injuring an ally. So when that happens, that is extremely rare. And his harmless music has a 70% chance to give the buff and then a 30% chance to give the debuff. So he's better at extracting, but he moves slower. Which, you know what? You can explain it whichever way you want. I just gonna say he's better at extracting because he wants that Iker so bad. He's addicted to that good. He wants that juicy, goovy, ooey, black Iker. Ooh. You can see this tune is a Macrusher. What does that mean? Which means he is and should be mainly used to extract Iker. And he's most definitely not good for distracting. Unless you have a speed buff and or speed cane. Fair enough. He would cost 3,800 Iker, 100% research on 12 Twisteds. Whoa. Which is crazy for a regular tune. But does he have a twisted version of himself or a trinket? There's a lot of lore here too. Here's a picture of Founty and his wife. He's 31. This is crazy, and he has a bunch of lore with other OCs as well. I love looking at OCs. This is so fun. You know what? This is hands down, even without a twisted or a trinket, this is an S. There's so much that went into Founty the Fountain Pen. This is I want this character to be in the game. I would spend money to get Founding the Fountain. Amazing work. Great job. Either way, without further ado, let's quit beating around the bush. Let's look at the skins that are going to get added into the game. So here we go. So we already had a bunch of skins that were added to the game or are going to be added to the game. But here are the remaining concepts. I did go over these barely the other day, but here's more of it. One thing that we can probably guarantee is that Lil Dude is probably going to be an Easter egg somewhere on the map. This is something that Quell just drew while he was doing his art stream. So we might see him again. Either way, Sprout is going to be salted caramel or caramel, however you prefer it, which is super fitting for Sprout, especially if you watched my video earlier today of the cooking show. Sprout is a mess in the kitchen. B+ skin. Vivid Monarch Flutter. See, I like this a lot more than the Moth skin, and I think that's probably why Quell made another one. I think this is the only one he made 2 skins of, was Flutter, but the Vivid Monarch goes pretty hard. Also, Tisha being the maid makes perfect sense. Obviously, no complaints here. That is just an S skin. Flutter is also an S skin. And moving on to Shelly's Dino Snore skin. Dino Snore. That's sick. And as you can see, there's teeth and spikes on it. I think they scrapped the red one and they're going to go with the green one or vice versa. Either way, everyone knows that Dino lore with Shelly and she has a tooth coming out of her mouth. This is also just an S skin. And Junior Detective Toodles, it's okay. It's okay. It's not the greatest you've ever seen, but it's still pretty solid. It's a B skin. I feel like giving Toodles like a different pool ball would be pretty cool. You know, like making Toodles like a 9 ball or like a 16 ball with the stripes. Just an idea. Here we have Dragon Straps, which I think is an A tier skin. I do like the red one more, but this is going to be perfect for right when Halloween time comes around. I already know that's what he's waiting for. Fall season's right around the corner. If I had to guess, September 21st is probably when we're going to start seeing a lot more of these skins get added into the game, when it's technically actually considered fall. Here's a Tamagotchi V. It's basically just a reskin, a recolor. You know, it's okay. It's just a C. It really is just a recolor. We talked about it yesterday. I don't want to talk about it too much, but today I'm just ranking them since I already went over these yesterday. But this is going to be Brittany or Brightney, Granny Brightney. Who's going to stuff you full of cookies? This is an all-around A skin in my opinion. I think it's super fitting for Brightney as well. Except the fact that Brightney to me was always a younger toon, but I guess it's fitting because it's turning into an antique lamp. So it looks good. And as of for right now, that is all of the new skins that are going to be coming into the game. And if you saw my video from yesterday, you would know that Goob was almost EGG instead. Some people are hoping they add this skin in for Goob, which, you know what? I wouldn't hate, as long as it's not like they don't just change Goob. But just changing Goob to EGG, just changing his name to an acronym, it doesn't seem like it fits in Danny's world. That's just my opinion though. Let me know what you guys think down below. What skin are you excited to see come to the game next? And if you could add any skin of your own to what toon, who would it be and why? Either way, enjoy your guys' day. I'm gonna go to bed because that's like what half the comments say. It says hopeless go to bed. So I'm going to try to do that now. Thank you guys for growing this channel. I love you guys. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Take care.